hard part about trying to do that, and I'm not arguing with you, I think you're right, but the hard part is that they could do 25,000 twice.
They can do whatever they want, I'm only talking about taking, and it's nothing exact. But you took a 5-year window, not counting last year, of what was taken out in the compensated absences. Average each year over 5 years, it probably would not be as large as we're projecting. And we had guys with a lot of years. But that's just my summary.
Okay.
And I can look to see if we can pull those numbers up quickly and email them out tomorrow.
That'd be great.
If you'd like to, and not counting last year. I don't put last year in that 5-year window because that was an exception.
The IT item. What is that?
Well, City Hall's been working on, City Hall joint students. AS400, the agenda viewer, scan that box. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We've already depleted, the account based on personnel, and he's dealing with, and I'll let him jump in, but he's dealing with, obviously, if we're going to continue the cable casting, we're going to have to figure out to do something. We can do one of two things. We can quit cable casting, or we can figure out what we're going to do with the equipment in order to maintain the process and the expense related to it. So he's got 3 management personnel that will get overtime, but also say, well, I worked, 4 extra hours on the council meeting, staying here cable casting, so I would like, do something to deal with that. So it's a headache that he's dealing with. So right now, his temp has been assisting in some of that process, which is a lot cheaper in that process than when we do something during the week. But we've got to continue to try to figure out how and what and deal with the concept. And again, it could be something late, but it also, he's got a list of things that I might ask to put together, and we didn't get to him last time. Relating to equipment with cable casting, just as we already know, the replacing the cable channel itself is not working, functionally working. We talked about that months ago. Try to put together some type of proposal to deal with, getting some of that equipment. If we replace the equipment that's there, we're still dealing with 20-year-old technology to try to get there and jump in anytime soon.
But this line item here is more for the man hours than the
Not
equipment,
necessarily.
right?
I mean, there's, getting equipment and related.
Okay.
I just kind
Which I know of so many other than council as well, city council airing. I have issues of managing the department, their software, their hardware, endpoints, PCs, phones. Because we took all those people out of the budget, doesn't mean that I am expecting to spend it. We need to get together with department and also come up with a solution how we're gonna support them. And whatever endpoint comes out to be at that point, we gotta have something in place to resolve those issues.
I think the equipment's only about 10 to 12 years old, which is old enough, but I don't think it's 20.
Right, but if we replace it, it'll be, so if we replace it, it's things, by the time it gets installed and everything.
I'm just saying, it's only 10 to 12 years old, which is old.
I've been getting a lot of complaints about the
I-
sound.
You can correct, but I'm not sure it was modern at the time that we
I
installed
believe
it.
we bought it new, did we not?
We bought it new.
Yes.
And our goal was to broadcast,
Right,
just the broadcast.
right.
After that, we added a lot of other
But
stuff.
we did buy brand new. I know we
Brand
put a
new.
lot of money into that equipment, so I'm saying we did buy it new. I'm not sure how updated it was, but it was new.
Is the sound broken on it, or what's going on with the sound?
Sound,
Yeah, last meeting, some people said there was no sound at the beginning of the meeting, or no picture or something, I don't know.
I think part of
I
that
didn't
was
love it,
because
but
we were in the Tiffin meeting.
Yeah.
It was just a delayed start. I think a lot of
maybe,
people.
I don't know, I think they said they heard voices, but, so are you saying you have some kind of something for us to look at what it would cost to make things work here for this?
means I did investigate some of the stuff. Basic starting is minimum, depending on what we're talking. Are we just talking, just replacing what is working and just broadcasting? Then it's around $12,000 to $14,000 equipment cost to fix it.
Versus doing what?
coming up with any other concerns we need to fix or sound?
He's basically
or-
explaining to me is modernizing to figure out how we want to address the marketing of the city in connection with that. So whether it's, you know, going to virtual hosting or website hosting, that type of thing versus the cable casting in some extent, so.
And doing video streaming, recording of videos, putting into the video host websites or through Google videos or YouTube videos, which we are part of.
And those could be links on the website anyway, right?
Correct.
But it would be using someone else's storage and all that.
Correct.
Why are we bringing this in the budget now? Why don't we just wait until we have an actual exact plan and bring the budget amendment forward then?
I think when Jen and I was discussed, we're gonna decrease the, in compensated absences, we could put it somewhere where it might really be needed actually.
But we don't know that yet. I mean, we don't even know what that number is that might really be needed. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it, I just,
I mean, I think 50,000 is, even a drop of what IT wise would be needed, you know, for to maintain, well, some of the levels of.
I said
for that plan, yeah, I don't think.
Well, I'm not saying just for that plan, I mean, I think again, you know, with 200 to 300 users, you know, PC wise and support, I mean, you know, I think those are some of the other things that he's trying to get.
That's one of the biggest concern that I have is the staff that used to take care, the minimum staff that used to take care, 300 PCs, phones, cell phones.
Oh, so you're not talking about like because we've approved these, like the new software or the new, you know, versions for everyone, but you're talking about actually contracting out somebody that would maintain that, do you, like as an as-needed basis, that type of thing?
No,
No?
that's probably won't cut $50,000,
No.
it's just somebody to go out.
What do you, I don't know what you mean, like to maintain the computers and the phones and so forth?
And
A body?
we only stuck that in there, we didn't really confer with, you know, what he would need, because I don't think 50,000, I said, I don't think 50,000's really a drop, I think it's just saying, you know, 50,000 could be, one more piece of equipment could drop, you know, drop there tomorrow, and it needs to be spent, you know, and then in 6 months, another piece could drop. So, I mean, I think we need to set up the time, whether it's the next study session or something, whether we approve this 50,000 in this line or not, we need to probably start the meeting and go through the room and see the patching, you know, the patchwork that has taken place over all of the years to keep doing what we're doing without the
The
expenses.
overhead's not working anymore, correct, in that room?
No, that equipment, we sent it back to get it fixed, it's got shipped, it's gonna come in on Thursday.
Mayor, what do you think, we're supposed to get the budget done and see exactly what dollars we have, get a plan together, bring it back to us whenever, and let us decide together what we want to do with it. I mean, if we're not sure how much we're gonna have, we're not sure how much you're gonna need, and the 50,000 you said is just gonna be a drop, but I mean, it doesn't seem like.
And I don't,
really-
this isn't a reflection on Sion, I think we were just trying to put something in there, if he comes to me 4 months from now, and we're dealing with the deficit, and we don't really have money, we're spending money we don't have anyway,
But I think
so.
we should be able, to decide though what we want to do with that, I think the council should be able to decide too what we want to do though with fixing that, if it's under the amount, well, it wouldn't be under, it'd be over, so we'd have to.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm not arguing with the
I got you.
councilman and chair, I don't even think whatever that decision might be would even scratch this 50,000.
That's why I said you said it's not even gonna make it down, so.
The thinking that I have about waiting for that, is that if we spend all the money now, for sure, we're not gonna have any
Where are you spending it at?
in all these places that we're spending it, when we adopt this budget tomorrow. So then so when it does break, or we're not
And
gonna have the
also
money.
concern is how we gonna support the
Right.
department for all these,
Are you talking about personnel?
personnel, because we don't have anyone.
But even if we put the money in there,
We're not asking for.
but even if we do, if we found it, we put money in for personnel, the administration does not, but you're saying you're worried about that, you're worried about your department, which I understand.
Yeah, I'm not worried about personnel, I'm not worried about, we
Oh,
need
you're
to
not.
come up
Oh.
with some kind of plan to support these
Oh,
departments.
just to support it with the equipment.
Equipment, technology, or some
Right,
way of
so-
understanding between department that is, are you okay with this?
Okay.
The newer way we're gonna go, and
I'm interested in seeing that plan.
Gotcha.
That's
I
what
see
I'm
what you're
interested in, is that plan that you're speaking of. I would absolutely get behind it, but I would like to see the plan.
I know we are working on it, we need to get with department saying, okay, we don't have anybody to support you right now. how are we gonna handle it through the technology? That's what we need, are you okay with, this level of support with the new
Right.
technology that we're gonna propose? So we need to work it out with the department and then come back with it. At that time, when I come back, if there is no money, how are we gonna get it?
Yeah.
But I don't believe we're saying we're gonna take that 50,000 and spend it. The mayor's
That's what
saying
I'm
that's
not
not-
asking
The mayor's
for.
saying that's not gonna be a drop in the bucket, what you're gonna need. So all we were saying is, when you bring the plan, we can see when this is finished, what dollars we actually have, and maybe be able to do a lot of what you want, I don't know.
And that's what,
That's all I,
correct, and that's why I didn't even question when when the people that I have in my department left, I did not ask for immediate replacement, because that's not the way when you don't have money to approach.
I know, but I know you guys are very tight about it.
So, did you say at the last meeting that you're having trouble even recording the meetings right now?
No, recording wasn't an issue last meeting. There was an issue of, on the screen, to display on the screen, because one of the equipment broke.
Okay.
So at that time, they were scrambling, so in the beginning, it's probably some kind of issue popped up that caused the citizens to not to see or listen on the voice, because they were trying to figure out. And
Okay.
also, then there are new people and getting trained and understanding this equipment, it's breaking, they're not knowing, so they're scrambling.
Right, right. Well, if we had, I'm sure if we had something that was a little more modern and easier to use and easier to get done, all those processes hopefully would be streamlined, but where did you say you moved this money from?
Compensated absence.
Oh, the compensating absence, okay. Because you made an adjustment there.
Are we still planning to go to closed door?
Okay. Yeah, we need a motion now.
Madam Chair, before you go to the closed door,
Yes.
in handling open business, I have an item here that didn't get in and have to have it kind of addressed.
We only have a couple minutes, Guido has to do it, he's gonna be part of this, so.
For what?
We only need about 5 minutes.
This thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it, big deal?
No, he just wanted, it was an open business item that he's gonna be requesting that we bring forward. It's emergency purchase of an ice machine. The purchasing did get 3 bids, but we didn't put it out, it hasn't been out for a long time. They went out and sought 3 bids. It's gone down, so they've run the estimation of the numbers based on how much time it would take, and man hours involved, and, you know, the lake's spending, buying 3.5 bags, or, 3.5 bags of ice, or
No, 3.5 orders.
3.5 orders of ice, a day to make up for the lost time without the ice machine.
It's all right here, there's financial.
It's over
Let me
2,000,
give it
it's
to you.
2,700, I'm just.
I think that, or if it doesn't, we don't have to be on the closed door, and he absolutely has to leave, is that what I just heard?
Okay, well, let me just pass that to you so you can
Okay,
see
pass
that.
one out, and I need a motion.
Motion to go to closed door to discuss,
So would I come back after this for this?
Yeah,
or not?
get up there.